to the audience.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to convene now.
Mark, you can introduce to him.
Okay, introduce Dr. Singh. Okay, one moment. Dr. Singh, would you stop sharing for just a minute? I want to read your biography. Thanks. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Professor Whitaker at SUNY Crete. And this is, of course, the second session of our conference on mental health crisis and treatments. Our next presentation is from Dr. Madhusan Singh, excuse me, is Assistant Professor Director of the Blockchain Group at ECIS at Musong University, South Korea. It's involved in entrepreneurial endeavors and blockchain technologies with artificial intelligence, information security, and vehicles. And in his career, he has worked as a senior engineer in the R&D division at Samsung Display, Korea, and in research professor in, where is that?
Yonsei University.
Get rid of that. And research professor in MHCT at Yonsei University, which is also in Korea. He serves as a series editor of the Blockchain Technologies and Springer Nature, IEEE Computer Society, and ACM Distinguished Speaker. He's also a senior member of the IEEE. So without further ado, Dr. Singh, I invite you to give your presentation.
Thank you, Professor Mark, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk my topic in this nice workshop. That is really nice and unique workshop like mental crisis and treatment. So in here, like today, I'm going to talk about how can we blockchain gonna be help in this digital healthcare or mental health crisis or treatment issues. So the mainly, as we know, nowadays is every digitalization is taking a very huge part and involving in each and every field. So there is a digital, that means they are creating a lot of data. As we did see our previous speakers, they are talking about the data generation. They are using the AI for the training purpose, data training, data testing, and all things. So, but there is one other issues like how to manage those data. So I think, I believe that blockchain is giving me very helpful for in this field to managing the data with the security, privacy about this, because healthcare issues, data is really very sensitive about each and every field of the health related things. So for that, I'm just give my name, that I'm Madhusan Singh. I'm Assistant Professor at Department of AI and Big Data and Director of Blockchain at Musong University, Daejeon. So let's start for my talk. So what is the digital healthcare? Digital healthcare provide the better and easy health outcomes for the patient through the health organizations with the help of digital technologies like AI, smartphone, IoTs. So currently boom of technologies, with the help of those technologies, how can we help and give the better solutions for our patients? So that is the using for the digital healthcare. Digital healthcare to support emerging applications on mobile and wireless devices, communicating people through the internet or through the wireless communications and other related fields technologies to communicating the items. So digital healthcare is just using for the customer-centric point of view. We think about how to make the customers customers means we talk about the patients. So how can we make the more easy life and more easy treatment for them, or more easy to get those patients information, data we talk with the doctors and the health organizations things. So digital healthcare, they promise a better electronic health records. They will use to digital healthcare. Through the digital healthcare, we can store the data on the electronically. In the previous time, doctors write the prescription on the papers and they need to store those information. They make the documents to lot of documents for the creating those information. So digital healthcare, they can be reduced those issues. Digital healthcare can be on-demand healthcare. Like nowadays, we can sitting at the home and we can provide our patients information directly through the cloud, to the doctors and to the hospitals for related the patient's disease, and they will make it the prescriptions and define that the what type of solution can be provided to the cloud or to the digital form. Digital healthcare system is, as I talk about, there is a customer-centric, data inform the healthcare. So as much as like we are talking about the digitalization, that means they have a lot of used data. So data itself has to provide the all information about the patients, how, what the issues, what type of disease, and how can we cure those disease. This all information can be, we can cover, we can use, we can get the information from the data. So patients treatment through the digital reality, like AR, VR, and mixed realities issues. So currently we can see there is a lot of internet connected issues. So we can use the virtual reality and get it the more bigger and clear information, clear disease related patient part or body part related the issues, we can get it through the help of AR and VR and MR, like mixed reality. Growth of IoT medical devices, like previously talked Professor Trivedi, there is talk about how to influence these wearable devices, how to be provide and get is the growth of wearable devices in our market, in the healthcare related things. And next we have to predictive healthcare, like if we have using the AI and those type of data, simulate data predictions, data analysis things, so we can predict that what type of health is going to be happen, what type of issues going to be happening in the future, and we can cure before the happening of any problems. And AI in the healthcare system, that is currently we are already talking about these things. To how can we just previous Professor Lee, he's talking about to the FIBO, how can we depression we can detect and we can remove those depressions with the help of their communicating the social networking things. So these are the some digital healthcare can be helped to how to be improve our healthcare systems. So digital healthcare like benefits is improving the healthcare systems, is optimizing the healthcare systems also, and easy to assistant with the help of data analysis and those things we can easily assist, and we can sitting the patient sitting at the home and doctor can be virtually, they can talk each others and they can make that assistant doctor can be made to assist the cure of that problems. There is a reduce the human errors also, lowering the cost, is provide the better treatment of the some particular disease or any particular disease. And there's a like telehealth, like old people, they cannot go in the frequent to the hospitals and frequent to the doctors to visit that location. And as in COVID situation, nobody wants to be move out from the house. So they can just sit on their home and they can talk with those, they can share their informations with the telehealth. So in this COVID situation, there is a lot of this telehealth and this virtual prescriptions and those things that happen very fastly and growing very fastly, these things. So digital healthcare like technologies, what type of technologies is going to be used in digital healthcare or digital transformation in healthcare systems, like blockchain technology, one of these things that I'm going to talk about more in the coming slides. AI, as we know that AI as the giving the very treatment, and we can make the robotics, AI can be predict the use the data analysis and data inform the healthcare system and they provide the solutions, or they can be predict the disease and they can make the cure of those disease. Robotics, like as we already seen some examples, some hospital, they are doing the OT operation theaters, they are already using this robotics operations. And mobile technologies, they're using the telehealth, AR, VR, Internet of Things. There's big data, where is the like we have using to digitalization and new technologies things. They have a lot of data is generating all times. Adaptive manufacturing, we can provide to the features of the, we can see the some mask and face of you. I think one of the movie that face off giving the good example for showing the this face adaptive manufacturing things. And cloud computing, there we are going to store those data. So as I talk about the blockchain technologies as my field of research, that is the blockchain technology. Now I'm just going to introduce what is the blockchain. So as I think everyone knows about the blockchain is the distributed ledger. technologies, and like if you don't know, they know about the Bitcoin. So in starting like 2016 or 2018, when was the Bitcoin as introduced, there everyone talking about the cryptocurrencies. But during that time, nobody will focus about the blockchain things. But nowadays, everyone know about the blockchain and how can be those blockchain gonna be helped to in different applications is going on. So blockchain is the distributed ledger technology that enables digital asset to be the transacted and traded in the near real time. So the record it keeps is permanent and irreversible. So the permits of transaction to be gathered into the blocks and recorded and cryptographically chains blocks in the chronological order allows to resulting ledgers to be accessed in different servers. So that means is the blockchain can be helped in this healthcare system is very huge, can be play a very important role in that, like as we talk about, as I talk about to the there is a lot of data, big data, AI, if we are going to use any technology we are going to use, they have created, they have generate the data. So we need, because this is a health related data, that is a very important to make it secure, safe and trustable to be sharing between the patient and doctors and who stakeholders of this healthcare system. So that is the blockchain is providing this benefit, benefits like it's will store from the long time. So if have some problem with some patient, they can be previous history, and that is the globally also available. Like one like Korea and India, like some patients can be moved to India to Korea or Korea to India. They can share their information or patient disease accordingly to the what happens in the previous what test and what type of disease are cure in the Korea. He can share those information in India. Same for the similar for the from India also, from India to Korea. So as we talk about the blockchain, there is a blockchain has, we know about the distributed ledger, but there have a lot, basically the 4 basic pillars of this whole blockchain. First one, that is the distributed ledger. There is a whatever the participant and who is the stakeholder about that related healthcare system, they will be the stakeholders of that network. Second, we have the cryptography. That is the all informations, they are stored cryptographically. So it will be, nobody can be decrypt, or they can, if they require the decryption or they require to modify those information, they need to know about the permission things. So third, we have the smart contract. Like we need to make some rules and regulations to who going to be access our data. If they are agree with our information, then they can use those information. If for that they need to permission, they need to agree with that smart contract. That smart contract, the basic simple example, if like currently we are going to some shopping mall and some other places, so they are also what we are doing to find out we go to shopping mall and this we just buy anything and we just take it, right? And we pay what the amount is written there. That means that is the simple example of the smart contract, like we are agree about that price of that product. Similar in a healthcare system, or similar in our blockchain system, whatever the application we are using, like in the healthcare system, if we are using to smart contract, we are mentioned that this information is not going to be out of this group, or that is some particular blockchain network, or that blockchain network is this information can be used only for some particular related disease related data. So that type of some smart contract we can create. And then we have the consensus. That consensus is also very important in the blockchain. Consensus is make that all stakeholders are agree to sharing their information, and they are verified that information is legal and trustable to what information is transacted in the network. So these are the 4 pillars can be used in the blockchain pillars that can be used in everywhere nowadays. So there is a 2 type of blockchain, that is a permissionless and permission blockchain. That permissionless blockchain is accessible to all members of the network and is available on any device, where every user can be access the code, verify the transaction, interact with each others, and stay anonymous. And for example, there is a Bitcoin, that is a globally very huge network, that is like permissionless network. Permission network, that is allowed only authorized participant. All users have roles and permissions, and a permission blockchain has rules that regulate transaction between network members. So this type of blockchain is great for this managing operation within a organizations. Like if we are think about to the implementation in this healthcare system, I think permission-based blockchain network is the very good opportunity, a good system, a good platform that can be used for this field. So for example, like permissionless, we have Bitcoin, Waves, Ethereum, and they have like permission. We have to Sovereign, EOS, and Ripples. These are some permission-based network platform that is available. And like private one is currently like intranet, but blockchain is it. So that is a Hyperledger Fabric and some other network, other platform that is available, but it's still permissionless. Private blockchain is not, is it in the think about to how can we create and how can we use those applications in some particular applications. So now we talk about the digital healthcare challenges. As we talk about to the lot of technologies we are using, to how can we, what type of challenges can be happen in those with the help of this digitalization in the healthcare field. So first one is the data fragmentations. Like if patient has some other disease, we need to fragment those information and those data. How can we manage and how can we organize those data can be saved? Some particularly network current time, we take the patient and use the whole data and inform. We don't like a lot of generated data is created and we need to find out the informed data, like information-based data. We don't need to use the whole information, all data. So similar as the access to the patient data is also one of the challenge. System interoperability, like how to manage this healthcare system, how can we transform in the blockchain and how can we stakeholders gonna be depend on how can we connect with the IoT and AI related data systems. That is also in system interoperability is the one of the challenge. Cost effectiveness, like in the starting we mentioned when we talk about the blockchain, there is a means like huge server, huge computational power, huge those things. But if we are going to some particular small applications, then it will be the very useful and helpful for that thing. And this is cost effectiveness is also very big challenge in the healthcare systems. Then we have the security of the health data, as already talked about, to security, making the secure from some private information, and those things is a big issues in this healthcare data digitalization. We have data validation and verification, like someone is sharing their information like telehealth or IoT devices, then how can we believe that this data is really valid data or verified data? That is the really patient related data. So that is also one of the challenge. Now we can see how can we blockchain help to solve these challenges. So like first, digital distributed ledger, they will help us to decentralize data storage, accessibility of data to all shareholders. Cryptography, it makes the data confidentiality, data encryption, integrity. There is no modified the data, nobody can be changed. Once data is approved and transaction is completed, the block is created, and secure access to the patient data. Smart contract, it is reduce the transaction cost, trustability, elimination of third parties, those things, and last the consensus, it make the transparency data and reduce the time lags and authentication and authorization of the data things. So that with the help of these things, we can protect, provide some good blockchain network can be make it the good and secure and trustable and secure data informations, digital healthcare, the blockchain solutions. So for example, that is the example of how to process this blockchain healthcare. For example, that is the one patient, his data is generated, those data is received by the blockchain server, and doctor can be access those system sitting on their own home or hospitals, and then it will be provide to the hospitals others informations, and then it will be like there is an insurance organization, if they will inform the insurance organization, and there is a patient system. So once data is generated and stored in the blockchain, then it like medication system, research organizations, hospitals, doctors, insurance organizations, they can be access those data from the blockchain server. Like research organization, they use the clinical trials. For the clinical trials, they require that always data and always generating the new disease and any other perspectives. So those things, they can be accessed data informations and based on from the blockchain server, and they can be provide their own clinical research. Second, we have to the medication system. That medication system, like we go for the pharmacy and those things, they will can see, they can also access from the blockchain server. And these all we have to make the permission based, so doctor and patient can be give that information. So if give that permission, and the others are related with those, if they are going to access those data, they take the permission from them first. So this type of make the permission based healthcare process system, it will be giving us to the secure and trusted network. So that is an example. Like for example, currently we have COVID situations, right? So nowadays vaccination is going on all worldwide. For example, one doctor has vaccinated a person, the person's informations, doctor information, vaccine details, details like what type of vaccine he's got it, and vaccination location. This all information will be stored in the blockchain, and then after vaccination, people details records to the electronic medical records, which is owned by the persons. This becomes the blocks in the blockchain. So vaccination information can be accessed by the requested group. After the vaccination, the persons want to be moved one place to another place, or want to be go some office and all things. They can be he can provide that unique ID, that is the hash ID and crypto ID. With that, they can be verified through the blockchain server to from these guys, that person is get the vaccination or not, and it can be used as a vaccination passport. Currently, we talk, every country that they're talking about for the travel purpose, they will trying to make it some vaccination passport to be that people are got the vaccination or not. So I think that blockchain can be help for that type of make that passport related, not passport related, but that can be make us to easier way to be accessed and known about to the who is get the vaccination, who's not get the vaccination things. Next, we have like benefits of the blockchain in digital healthcare. It have the effective and cost efficient, like medical inventory management. They can control with the whole informations. Powerful monitoring, the wellness mobile applications, better and ease to collaboration between the healthcare stakeholders. They have like electronic medical records and all things, transparent and trusted healthcare process, and last, like well organized and secure those data. So that is globally patient can be access the data about his disease. So, but the blockchain has some challenges also. For that, challenges like new technology. So there is a integration issues. Initially there is a high cost, but it can be we can be provide those high costs and can be protect according to like if we are thinking about this. For example, I'm giving to this our project. This project is going right. MHCT like mental health and this here. There is a two stakeholders. One side is Korea, one side is India. So India team and Korea team, they can make their own organization, their own blockchain-based server, so they can be share their information each other's without any problems, without any delay. So they make only their permission-based network. So within those two locations, they can be accessed, and all project members, they can be involved, or they can be see what is development is going on without to like every week and every month they have a meeting and those things. So those they can be managed, and like some group has forget about what happened in the last meeting and those things, they can access through the blockchain and they can find out what's the update of these things. Second, we have to standardization and rule and regulations. Like currently, I'm already working with this IEEE blockchain standard association. Still, we are fighting with them making some standard rule and regulation for this blockchain. Still, there is no standardization is happened, but I think it's gonna be happen very soon. So we are working on those things. Then we have to uncertainty due to the consensus. Like if you consensus means we need to make more than 51% people have to agree with some particular transaction. So if somewhere has happened, like it make the permission based or some strong or low, strict blockchain server. So there is some we need to require the, like for example, I giving this project based blockchain server, right? That project based, like someone is updated some data from the India side or Korea side, but they are not getting the approval from the within a time due to some busy schedule, due to other things. So it will take some uncertainty to consensus when we're going to be approve the any transaction, when we're going to add the blockchain. Then we have to data ownership, like who's gonna be like we use in digital healthcare, then who will be the ownership of those data? Like if we think about the patient and doctor's relations, so then doctor or the owners or patient or the owners. So that is some challenges we need to sort out in this blockchain related thing. Another one, we have high energy consumptions. That can be also is one of the issues. Then second last, we have to storage capability. We need to think about like if we are going to build this blockchain, some organization and some hospitals, there is the issues. How much storage data we are going to store? Like in a hospital is every day is coming the more than some big hospital is coming the more than 100, more than 1,000 or 10,000 people are visiting within a week or within a day. So then how can we manage those data? How can we storage capability? Can we manage those things? That is also one of the challenge. Last, we have to security. As there is a conflict, my voice, right? And previously I said that is providing the security. That one is providing the security from the outsider. But if someone in the future is coming to quantum computing and so much fast attacking system, so in the all system in the network node, they have all data stored in the plain text after creating the block, right? So those, if someone is through the help of the quantum computing and some quantum based processing, they will do that. Then there is a problem to solve that problem about the security. For that, we have the solutions we can use some encryptions method that can be homomorphic methods that I'm working on that one, homomorphic encryptions. They can be used when any transaction is start in the network, that transaction gonna be encrypted. Only sender and receiver can be decrypt what information is going, or other node members, they can just verify the senders and receivers, their transactions. They don't need to verify about to the transaction thing. They just need to verify about to the sensor node, the receiver and sender, they are the valid member of our network, that with the help of that some kind of solutions we can provide, we can work on those things. So there is the blockchain healthcare. They will make it the healthcare system. It will provide the medical records and reports. Healthcare supply chain management we can use to trace the whole medical or drugs production things. Blockchain can resolve the traditional supply chain related issues effectively through the immutability and traceability of duplicacy of drugs. Health insurance claim settlement, smart contract features assist the insurance companies to explain the terms and conditions clearly to their customers. And clinical research and data access, the blockchain technology ensure that fine-grained control of the data, its security and its cerebral parameters for the single patient or group of the patient or clinical trials stakeholders. So this is some example of the use cases in the healthcare system. That is the healthcare management system, healthcare data management, manage the constant prescriptions, manage the financially insurance claims, drug traceability, clinical trials, global healthcare, and sharing the health data records and out of the network claims. So these are some blockchain use cases can be used in some particular some applications, or we can use them in overall systems. So for example, we had to publish this e-health chain, the SCI paper in the June. So I worked with this paper with the Professor Praveen Pawar, late Professor Praveen Pawar, and me with the e-health chain, a blockchain-based personal health information management system. I'm just giving some brief example about what we did in this paper. So we have proposed this system, e-health chain, the blockchain-based personal information. There is the mobile health record, environmental records, information, medical insurance claims, family health records, electronic medical, and this all in public medical related, health related issues we have stored on the blockchain system, where doctors, researchers, and patient can be access those informations. So how can we do that thing? We have defined some layers, like blockchain layer. There is a user authorization. They call about the historic data. It's going for the adopter layer and application layers, and we have device layer. So with the help of device, the measurement data, and measurement data is going to be a user measurement data and user authorization. With the help of that, we can protect the whole our e-healthcare or personal information system. So data sharing constant is the patient and doctors. They have like patient gonna be approved about this, what is happening in this network, this all things. So that is the application use case of system. In the blockchain layer, we have used to Hyperledger Fabric, REST server, and e-health chain like database systems. Then in adapter layer is provide the REST client and explorer. They can be vice versa. They use the Google API system, and applications layer, it will use to Google Cloud with the help of authentication 2.0 and giving the token and grant, and data request, what type of data request for the step counts. And these are some devices that will be used the step count, blood pressure, and other weight informations with the help of these sensors and monitors. So that is the how to create the block, how to create the network. It will be used like certificate authorized authority. They can create the order, and that is the order had a MSP that it will be connected with this my channel network. There is an organization of the patients and that organization about the doctors. They will share this all information like peer-to-peer and applications, chain node and ledger systems, and they will can access those informations to each others. So that is the testbed result of our client in the each e-health chain from the client side. There's a health chain login ID password, then about to allow the e-health chain access sensor data about your vital signs, and then we use the account number, we log in, and after login that is giving the some four options like blood pressure, heart rate, weight, step count, and those step counts can be connected with those things. So after that, that is the results of our systems. It will be created like example of we are using Hyperledger Fabric, those things. So there is a dashboard is showing that 288 blocks, 1,667 transaction is happened in the network, and there is a 4 nodes and how many nodes is there. Then it will provide the transactions data when is happened, the high data is going to be when we are asking those things, and it will be the block creations showing there. And there is a transaction organization, which organization where transaction is going on between that things. So now I'm going to conclude my remarks about this talk. So like, as I conclude that digital healthcare system is complex network. So it has many interconnected entities, but blockchain is capable to provide the distributed, secure, trusted environment in digital healthcare system. And blockchain's opportunity in patient data portability, interoperability, and administration can be provide answer to various challenges in digital healthcare. And blockchain can also make the easy and mobile healthcare system within the low cost also. So thank you very much for this. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have one question if Dr. Madhusudan can please help.
Yeah, sure.
So Madhusudan, let's say I want to have a big network, but it should be secure between, let's say, 3-4 or a group of people only. That is also possible with this technology. So it is not like it should be. So, for example, information is shared only with 3-4 securely, not with the entire network. But the entire network is having, means you can say the database, or every database is there, but only 3-4 people should have access for this particular.
For that things like if you have a big network, within a big network, you want to make another small network, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that can be possible. You can give them the permission based, like one huge network has the access to whole data, but within a small network, in the big network, you make that another small network. So those in the network, you can be described that what data they can access, what data cannot. So that can be possible.
That is possible. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have another question about the Professor David. How long does it take the verify blockchain, say for the COVID passport? Is it enough for sometimes sensitive applications? So as I'm talking about I'm not talking about the sensitivity and simplicity about things. I'm talking about the data management things. So as a COVID passport, as mentioned, if we are making some permission-based or some organization-based things, so those who is the stakeholders, they have allowed based on their application, their how much. For example, I need to show the COVID passport to the travel in Korea to India, right? So if I have to get some vaccination from some particular hospitals, so that hospital organization and me are the approval of the stakeholders of that network, right? So if we go to show in the
Immigration.
not immigration, like airport, to show in that information, so they will see and they can just immediately contact that information. Like currently, when I have experience when I came back to Korea in January, so they asked me to give me your number of the anyone that can be know you and they can verify you, right? So I give that number, so they will just call them, right? So same thing, they can do that through the system. They can do that, apply my passport, my vaccination ID, and they will just verify, or they will call them if they are there delay. They can call them and they can finish the process. There is also limited permission, as I'm talking about the permission based, right? So there is only limited people they can be verified. So they can be happened as much as soon you want.
So you just need to have this few verifiers for your
People,
blockchain so it can be quick.
specifically you and that organization who give that vaccination. So they can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sensitive data I already mentioned. So we are not talking about the data sensitivity. So
So is there anybody has question? Please ask right now.
Professor, may I have?
Yes, please, ma'am, go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Very insightful talk, because you have given very detailed this thing. That's why one thought came in my mind. Sir, present scenario, because the vaccination, COVID situation, and predictions of the new waves and other things related to that thing. So we can now it is the problem is that people are saying that vaccination we have taken, but a prediction of the new wave and the previous history of the patients kind of thing we can track from the old records, and can we add to the, if we want to build blockchain based kind of thing, because it is necessary for the universities to allow the students to know their previous history of the medical, so that they can predict or can do something to the students to a good environment kind of thing. That's something thought, a vague thought I got it. So is there any chance to work on this blockchain based context? My question is clear.
Yeah,
Yes.
blockchain based context means, like as you mentioned, there is vaccination and also the wave and COVID transformation is happening. So, but
Yes,
that
sir.
is we need to store about the information on the data, right? In the data form in the blockchain server, right? So
Yeah. Tracking of the old records kind of thing to add
Yeah.
the blockchain kind of thing. One thing, because we will have a record of existing vaccination thing. We have a data, a student person and person data will be there to
Yeah.
know what is the previous history kind of thing, and
Yeah.
what can be predicted to better good environment we can provide in the universities kind of thing,
Yeah.
in terms of the healthcare. Yeah.
As you see this slide, can you see? I just saw that result, the in a e-health chain. In there, you can see there is a report
Yeah.
about the blood pressure, heart rate, and weight, and
Yeah, sir. By seeing that thing only, I got that idea. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So that those information is already stored on the system, right? On the network, blockchain network, right? So if anyone wants, in the here I'm giving the blood pressure and heart rate example, we can change in the COVID informations related things. If those information is there available, they can share and they can access what the information, what the organization and what is the authorities they want to be know some personal history about the any particular patient or particular students. They can be access those things, but with the permission of that patient and that is the owner of those data.
that is there. That is there.
Yeah.
Only the thing is the previous health histories, their case studies kind of thing can be added to this thing.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
So, ma'am, what happened once any healthcare data comes to the blockchain network, the patient's history data like temperature, blood pressure, ECG, blood pressure, all data has recorded in the blockchain network cloud server. Okay. So once
No, sir. My question is not that. My thing is that, yeah.
let me come
yeah.
to the good point. So once the patient's data is there, so if he want to join in the new university campus, so he can get the certificate online based on his data set.
Right.
Also, so they can generate automatic certificate, and that certificate can verified by the any particular person authority who want to check it out on that based on blockchain ID. Right.
Right.
Yeah, there is another question. How feasible is it to implement a medical records blockchain in country like India with huge population?
Yes, sir.
That question, like huge population, we can, as mentioned, if we have a huge population, we need to create a huge network, right? So with the help
Yes,
of
sir.
this network and some particular persons based ID, we can provide a person based information, person any particular person have what type of disease, what type of why he going to make hospitals, and those all information can be stored in the blockchain server. So those that can be accessed from the other hospitals and other persons things. So is there some particular based person based ID we can be used there? So in the even though huge population, if we are going to be person based, that doesn't matter like how many people are there. Each person has their unique ID, unique information, so they can be stored and they can be share those information to others in the hospitals and related authorities.
Yeah, that's why we can see that what will be the overall environmental based and conditional based, what kind of vaccine can be predicted for India and different kind, because geographical effect is also there on this virus influence kind of thing. So it's not only for India, worldwide we can take it and do that. Yeah, thank you very much, Professor. Very good session.
Anyone else has any question?
Professor, if individual hospitals start making a blockchain of their own, like it might be possible that they have different formats of data. Each individual hospital will. So in that case, will it not be a problem? Like if I want to shift from one hospital to another, will it not cause any like problems? And so it will also create a lot of access issues. Like hospital 1 will have to give read access to hospital 2 and write access as well. Ownership issues will come up. How about that?
So as you mentioned, they change the data format, right? Storing the data, but they are changing the data format, but the name of disease or name of the particular bodies are the similar, right? So if someone is want to be access some particular disease or some particular body's information, they can put that keywords. With the help of those keywords, they can be access the information, right? So there is no any conflict and no any for the accessing problem. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?